answer in your face. Your face says, No. Very good. Tell me one more thing, and I have done. Take the mass of your educated, accomplished, and lovely countrywomen. Is it, or is it not, the fact that a lady who has a house in a fashionable quarter, a footman to open her door, a butler to wait at her table, and a carriage and horses to drive about in, is a lady who has gained 4 steps in female estimation at starting? Yes or no?" "Come to the point," said Vendale. "You view this question as a question of terms. What are your terms?" "The lowest terms, dear sir, on which you can provide your wife with those 4 steps at starting. Double your present income. The most rigid economy cannot do it in England on less. You said just now that you expected greatly to increase the value of your business. To work and increase it. I am a good devil after all. On the day when you satisfy me by plain proofs that your income has risen to 3,000 a year, ask me for my niece's hand, and it is yours." "May I inquire if you have mentioned this arrangement to Miss Obenreizer?" "Certainly. She has a last little morsel of regard still left for me, Mr. Vendale, which is not yours yet, and she accepts my terms. In other words, she submits to be guided by her guardian's regard for her welfare, and by her guardian's superior knowledge of the world." He threw himself back in his chair, in firm reliance on his position, and in full possession of his excellent temper. Any open assertion of his own interests, in the situation in which Vendale was now placed, seemed to be, for the present at least, hopeless. He found himself literally left with no ground to stand on. Whether Obenreizer's objections were the genuine product of Obenreizer's own view of the case, or whether he was simply delaying the marriage in the hope of ultimately breaking it off altogether, in either of these events, any present resistance on Vendale's part would be equally useless. There was no help for it but to yield, making the best terms that he could on his own side. "I protest against the conditions you impose on me," he began. "Naturally," said Obenreizer. "I dare say I should protest, myself, in your place." "Say, however," pursued Vendale, "that I accept your terms. In that case, I must be permitted to make 2 stipulations on my part. In the first place, I shall expect to be allowed to see your niece." "Aha! To see my niece, and to make her in as great a hurry to be married as you are yourself. Suppose I say no? You would see her, perhaps, without my permission?" "Decidedly." "Oh, how delightfully frank! How exquisitely English! You shall see her, Mr. Vendale, on certain days which we will appoint together. What next?" "Your objection to my income," proceeded Vendale, "has taken me completely by surprise. I wish to be assured against any repetition of that surprise. Your present views of my qualification for marriage require me to have an income of 3,000 a year. Can I be certain in the future, as your experience of England enlarges, that your estimate will rise no higher?" "In plain English," said Obenreizer, "you doubt my word?" "Do you propose to take my word for it, when I inform you that I have doubled my income?" asked Vendale. "If my memory does not deceive me, you stipulated a minute since for plain proofs." "Well played, Mr. Vendale! You combine the foreign quickness with the English solidity. Accept my best congratulations. Accept also my written guarantee." He rose, seated himself at a writing desk at a side table, wrote a few lines, and presented them to Vendale with a low bow. The engagement was perfectly explicit, and was signed and dated with scrupulous care. Are you satisfied with your guarantee?" "I am satisfied." "Charmed to hear it, I am sure. We have had our little skirmish. We have really been wonderfully clever on both sides. For the present, our affairs are settled. I bear no malice, you bear no malice. Come, Mr. Vendale, a good English shake hands." Vendale gave his hand, a little bewildered by Obenreizer's sudden transitions from one humour to another. "When may I expect to see Miss Obenreizer again?" he asked, as he rose to go. "Honour me with a visit to morrow," said Obenreizer, "and we will settle it then. Do you have a grog before you go? No? Well, well, we will reserve the grog till you have had your 3,000 a year, and are ready to be married. Ha! When will that be?" "I made an estimate, some months since, of the capacities of my business," said Vendale. "If that estimate is correct, I shall double my present income." "And be married?" added Obenreizer. "And be married," repeated Vendale, "within a year from this time. Good night." End of Act 2, Scene 1. Recording by Alan Chant of Tunbridge, Kent, England. www.sevenoaksprep.kent.sch.uk